this. I enjoy a lot this. So, and I want to continue make history because I want to put my name in a big stage, in a big position for my history. So
2 weight classes and everything else, it's going to be tough. But if anybody can bring some energy to this, it'll be Crawford.
Tenence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez's fight on ESPN's Face to Face makes things worse. Canelo isn't seen as a tough opponent by Crawford, who points out that the Mexican isn't the biggest and is only 168 pounds strong. He thinks that Canelo's fans make him look bigger than he is. In his next fight, Crawford wants to make history, show what he can do against a future great boxer, and boost his name by going up against one of the best boxers.
He's strong, I'm strong.
Right.
You know, it'd be, to me, skill for skill.
Right.
You know, because Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter. So I just started looking into it, and I'm like, man, you know what? That would be a great fight to have defining legacy fight with an all-time great that's been solidified and accomplished in the sport of boxing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know I interviewed Canelo right before his last fight.
On the other hand, Canelo Alvarez answers with a smart air of confidence, saying that many of his opponents are wrong about him from a distance. They learn that he is tough in real life, even though he seems easy to deal with on TV. Canelo is always telling people about his long-term success and how hard it is to fight with him. He does this to make a point of saying that the ring is where his real brilliance shines.
oh, now I know why.
So when they sit there and they watch you on TV,
It's easy. No, I can do it. And when they step
get
in the ring, they see why I'm Canelo Alvarez.
absolutely.
Now, early in your career,
This episode of Million Dollars Worth of Game is brought to you by DraftKings. World of slot reels and blackjack deals come the must-play event of the summer from DraftKings Casino. Featuring non-stop action on all-star cast of games, including A-lister.
Tenence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are getting more and more angry at each other before they even fight. There was more going on than just the build-up to the fight when Canelo shoved Crawford during a recent argument. Such violence shows how strongly the feelings are charged around the fight and how both fighters bring skill, pride, and anger to the fight. Fans knew for sure that skill would not be the only thing that would matter in the fight. It would also be about resilience and drive. These short but important conversations and advertising events give us a taste of what will happen when the bell rings and show us a little about each fighter's personality. Crawford has made it clear over and over that he wants to be one of the best players of all time. In a talk with ESPN, he made it clear that his fight with Canelo is more than just another one, to help him get his business off the ground. He said that Canelo would be inducted into the Hall of Fame and that he was the last real golden generation hero. He is sure that beating him will leave an impact on other people that will last a lifetime. So, this fight isn't just a match between two great boxers. It's a symbolic match in which Crawford sees a chance to show that he's better than one of the most successful boxers of our time.
fight game?
I just think my ability to adapt to every fighter that I ever been in the ring with. I think making my adjustments on the fly is a skill that benefits me in each fight.
I 100% relate on that one, being able to be nimble. Now, obviously, we've talked about you moving up a weight class to fight Canelo. You've talked about the respect that you have for him, but what it is about his style and what he's been able to do that you respect the most?
Well, I just respect him as all. You know, he's a great fighter. He's, you know, a good boxer. He's a good counter puncher. He's never, you know, off balance. He got a good chin. He got good power. Got, you know, good movement when he want to move. What is there to not say about him?
No, I got you. Now, with all of that, as you rattled off, we'll call it the scouting report, right? What will you have to do to be your best version in order to get this victory?
I think just be myself and just don't get careless in the ring and, you know, stay sharp all 12 rounds if it goes 12 rounds. I think that's the only thing that, I need to do.
A broadcaster named Simon Jordan called the fight the greatest fight in boxing history, which says a lot about how big it was. He thinks Crawford's decision to fight Canelo is brave and smart. According to Jordan, a fighter's skill isn't measured by how well they avoid danger, but by how hard they chase the most dangerous opponents. At this very time, Crawford is doing it. He believes Crawford will be able to do the job well and show off his skills in an amazing way. Such a study shows that this battle is more than just a competition. It stands for desire, taking risks, and trying to be the best.
We've got two of the best fighters in the world, and Terence Crawford trying to do what no other's done before, a four division world champion, and jumping up from light middleweight now to super middle, trying to achieve the unachievable against Canelo Alvarez, who is pound for pound. Can he do it? I think he can. I think that this guy creates history. Terence Crawford is that good. I've always said it. I think that he lives with any welterweight. His best weight really has been at welterweight. He lives with any welterweight in any division for me, and that's including all the greats. You're going back to your Roberto Durans, Sugar Ray Leonards, all those guys. I think that he is that good. And we find out in September. It's going to be a fantastic fight.
A well-known sports commentator named Chris Algieri has praised Canelo for how he prepared for Crawford by bringing in Jaron Ennis, one of the best and most dangerous fighters in the world right now. Canelo showed that he was not going to take this fight easily. Algieri's analysis shows that Canelo is working hard to copy Crawford's style and improve his skills against more experienced opponents through this plan. Fans of boxing will be thrilled to hear this, because it means that both fighters will be in great shape before the fight and ready for a messy, strategic, and skill-filled battle. The risks are high because both teams are ready, and fans can be sure to see something amazing.
He was just trying to get through camp and just have use the same sparring partners over and over again, which you see a lot of older guys do, and just kind of get through it and not test themselves and be competitive. That would be more indicative than this happening is like, oh no, this guy's taking Crawford very, very seriously, and he's going to come fully prepared. If you're bringing in young studs like him to fight with, also he's got Darrell Blast Valsaint. He's a Pro Box TV guy who's a stud at 54. He's bringing these young studs who are athletic and they can hit, and they're big, and they know how to box, and they can switch sides. It's like, wow, all right, Canelo's got the best sparring partners that he can for this particular fight, and I think that's good. I think it's good for the sport. I think it shows you that, he's taking this seriously, and this is a major fight everyone's going to watch, and it just makes you feel like the fight would be better that way.
Okay, I like that. What I didn't like was some of the takes that I saw from boxing Twitter, and I have to take those with a grain of salt. Oh my God, this is ridiculous what I'm about to say. I shouldn't even say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Why not? We're on a podcast. There were people saying that Boots, it was like anti-black code. He went against the culture to train and help Canelo beat another black man in Crawford. And
it's so reductive. It's so reductive. It's ridiculous. This is boxing, guys. This is the most diverse. Gyms are so diverse. Everybody comes in, you do your work, and it's
dumb.
The hell am I gonna say about it? But
there's nothing to say about it. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I look at it purely from a boxing standpoint.
Right. Like, what does Boots owe to Crawford? They're like rivals. They're supposed to fight each other. Are they friends? No. If it was like a friend and it was like his cousin or something, or like it was like a
training
close
partner,
partner, close friend. Yes, then you have a juicy little narrative here, a little nugget, piece of drama. No, this is just a guy who's looking to be good, to be great. And if you're Boots Ennis and you get the call from Canelo, like, you're taking that, bro. Like, that's training with an all-time great. You're trying to get better. Iron sharpens iron. Don't know why we're giving that any light, but I think it's cool because I've said this for a while now, and ever since we linked up on the pod, I kind of understand fighters a little bit better and understand how you guys think, what you guys do.
During their podcast interview, Sean Porter and the host talked about how hard this fight is for Crawford in particular. Their opinion was the same. Crawford isn't the biggest fighter, but his skills more than make up for it. Porter says that Crawford's speed, smarts, and ability to change strategies could be fully utilized on fight night. A lot of people think that Crawford's precise skill, which has made him the best boxer in many weight classes, will be the deciding factor in his fight with Canelo. When Porter thinks about Crawford's skills and thinks he will do great in the ring, the problem of size becomes less important.
Because Crawford is bigger.
Right.
Crawford is heavy, you know, like he carries himself, you know, he's very solid right now. He's taller, you know, when you see him the face off. So he is technically bigger. It's just the size it's very different when you carry that weight in the ring. That's what you got to worry about performing with. And, you know, just based off kind of like the performance at 154, although it was against a very solid fighter with Madrimov, I don't know if he's gonna be solid enough, you know, just used to carrying that type of weight around at 68. So that's that's the reason I lean towards Canelo, but the skill-wise, everything else is obviously still more on Bud's side.
Yeah.
So that's where my toss-up is. So I just lean towards Canelo because at the end of the day, you got to respect the weight classes.
We've been real heavy on this fight. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. And I feel like every time I've spoken about Canelo and Crawford, the only thing I'm talking about is Crawford. So I said, you know what, today I'm gonna flip the script. Today it's all about Canelo for me, and I might break your heart in the process. But I gotta keep it real. You're right, this is a 50-50 fight. This is a fight where, as I was telling the Uber driver this morning, these guys, we've seen them both make mistakes in the ring, but they've never cost them, right? This is the first fight that I believe they both have are gonna get in the ring where the small mistake is actually a big mistake against the opposer. So Canelo making a small mistake is actually a big mistake because Crawford actually has the ability to somehow know that that mistake is about to happen, and boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Canelo, on the other hand, Crawford hasn't been known to get hit, especially early in fights. And Canelo is the kind of guy where, you know, he's gonna come out and let his hands go. He's gonna find moments to let his hands go. But when he finds those moments, you can't be caught slipping. You can't be caught sleeping. You can't be caught in between, do I go in, do I go out? Make that small mistake against this guy right here, it becomes a monumental mistake. And that might be the last time you make a move that night. You know what I mean?
Antonio Tarver, a former champion, quietly talked about the fight. He said Canelo is still a threat even, though he doesn't win every fight. Because he is so strong and accurate, Canelo is the kind of boxer whose one punch can change the result of a fight. In a way that has never been done before, it will test Crawford's mind. During each round, he has to stay calm, pay attention, and follow the rules. However, Tarver could also tell that Crawford was very sure of himself. It's clear that Crawford loves this fight and the traditions it protects. It's also possible that his confidence is just as important as his skill.
Gifted fighters out there, bro. And he got it the hard way. You feel me? The hard way. Through work, commitment, and dedication. And being a leader, he's really led a lot of these young champions. You feel me? So Crawford has stood out from the beginning, bro. Different. You know, the way he approached the game. And I love the way he processed the game when he get in there. Now, can he hurt Canelo? That's gonna be the key. That's gonna be the key, because you can't knock nothing out, you can't hurt. You can't knock nobody out, you can't hurt him. Now, if Crawford is in here to do 12 grueling rounds with a strong fighter like Canelo, I think his best game plan is to box, be elusive, in and out. You feel me? But never stand still long enough for Canelo to dig 3 or 4 on you, you know, with your back against the rope. So it's a way to win. His fight style gonna have to be locked. And Canelo only need one punch. You know what I mean? That really, basically, that's what it boils down to. I think Canelo only need one shot to change the game or change the fight. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. He's gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision. I never won a close decision. Even when I beat a guy 8-4. That's a draw for me. That's a draw. So it depends on who you feel me? Different folks for different strokes for different folks. You feel me? So you gotta be, can Canelo or can Crawford win a close decision? I don't think so. I don't know. Canelo is Canelo. You feel me? So now that could be a situation or issue. If Crawford win 8-4, they say it's a draw, or they give it to Canelo, you know? So in the back of my mind, that's what's looming. I think if Crawford is going to guarantee victory, he got to stop him.
Trainer Andre Rozier has given Crawford a fair evaluation, pointing out that the road ahead won't be easy even though Crawford has a lot of promise. He warned that Canelo is a tough opponent and that Crawford will also have a hard time in the fight. On the other hand, Rozier believes that Crawford is the only boxer who can beat this. It will be easy for him to beat Canelo because he is quick, flexible, and calm. This project is very hard, and Rozier says Crawford has a special skill for making things happen that seem impossible.
Canelo.
Adult expert Showbiz said that Canelo may have found the perfect practice partner to copy Crawford's style. He gave his own dramatic explanation. He made it sound like Canelo's training might give him an edge over Crawford. Even though he made a few mistakes, what he said pretty much sums up how some people feel. Canelo's training might make the difference.
It's over. Saul Canelo Alvarez having the perfect prep with Jerron Boots Ennis. You cannot get more perfect of a preparation for Terrence Bud Crawford than Jerron Boots Ennis. Terrence Crawford being known as a big welterweight, his athleticism being great, his slickness, IQ, boxing ability. Check, 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 check when it comes to Jerron Boots Ennis. I'm talking about the reflexes, the speed, relying a lot on your athletic gift, all the things that you cannot be taught. All those things that make Terrence Bud Crawford an exceptional athlete in the ring. Jerron Boots Ennis, he has those things. Now you got Canelo Alvarez, who has fought Floyd Mayweather, fought Lara, fought Amir Khan, fought Austin Trout, fought all those boys, and now also being sharpened up and training with Jerron Boots Ennis.
Stephen Breadman Edwards taught an important lesson about the limits of fighting. He told Canelo that it was a good choice to train with Jaron Ennis, but that training is not the same as the fight. Edwards says that during sparring sessions, people often try new things, test out new techniques, or give possible opponents psychological cues. He said Canelo might be using Ennis to show how confident he is and how ready he is for Crawford's style. However, none of those training methods can fully match the tension, intensity, and unpredictability of a real fight once it starts. As the fight gets closer, many experts and fans agree on one thing. Crawford will be the toughest opponent Canelo has faced so far. Crawford is different from the people who came before him because he is highly motivated to do well and has great professional skills. He's at the top of his game, wants to make history, and has never lost. Canelo has a lot of experience and has done a lot of great things, but Crawford is the best player he has ever met. For two of the best fighters in history, this fight is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, so it's not just another fight on the plan. The outcome will have an impact on both of their names and could even change the way boxing is played today.
Felix Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Dimitri Bivol, Arthur Beterbiev, Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather. Damn, you don't think none of them?
So is Terrence Crawford really better than all those guys in the toughest matchup of Canelo's career? No. Canelo's just selling the fight. Realistically, Crawford is more skilled than some of those guys mentioned. You know, Trinidad, De La Hoya, Beterbiev. You could argue more skilled than Bivol, Pacquiao, and B-Hop. But once Canelo employed that Crawford is better than Floyd, I mean, he's just selling the fight at that point. He knows that's not true. The reason why Floyd had so much success against Canelo and is just a better fighter than Crawford is he has the sharper jab on the outside, but more importantly, he's the best defensive fighter we've ever seen. I mean, Mayweather rarely got touched, and he could counterpunch without exchanging. Crawford does not do that. You know, Bud is a take one to give one guy. He's willing to exchange to get his shots off. And that's why he's never been as sharp defensively as someone like Mayweather. And when you have that kind of style where you're willing to get hit, and then you move up 2 divisions against a hard hitter, usually it doesn't bode well. So no, Crawford won't have the same success Mayweather had, and Canelo knows that.
This is the end of today's movie. Watch out. Until the next time.